I'll make this last video because God said, He said, clear the air. I don't want you to leave on a sour note. So I want all of the world to understand this. Blacks, whites, Asians, Africans, Hispanics, Afro-Latino, Afro-Latina, all of it. Russian, all of it. Even the non-humans, I want you to understand this. We collectively have to make a choice if we want a better world, because we all live in this home together. It's like living in the same house, and you go to the kitchen dirty, but your room is clean. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you're going to have to burn the house down, or you're going to have to make order with those that don't clean the kitchen. Because that's really what life is. We all in the same house. And some of us are clean, which is minor, and many of us are dirty and filthy, which is major. And it's like, at the end of the day, we all live in the same home, though. So we can't just be anarchists and burn the house down. I want to. But eventually, you just have to move out the house. You know, because I've gotten to the thinking many times, God will always tell me, because He told me many times, He said, you will lead people. And I tell God, I say, I don't have no money. He says, well, you don't need money to lead people. You have the gift, you have the words, you have the voice, you have the power. You just don't like people. And before you can lead people, I need to know that you're capable of knowing what you have to lead. You want a better world, make one. That's what He told me. You want a better world, make one. You want a new nation, make one. Because you don't need as many people as you think to change. You just think you do, based on what the world defines as change, because they want you to be fearful the whole time. They want you to think like David when he fought Goliath. I can't do this, but you can. You just have to think bigger, think smarter, think wider, think more expanded, more abundantly, and you will see that you can. I got to the thinking, I said, if you had to build a new world, what would there be? Would there be women that are feminists? Would there be women in general? Will there be men? Will there be men in general? Will there be gay men, transgenders? Will there be free lunch? Will there be food, fake food, real food? What will there be? Jobs. Will you be free? Will you even have to work? Governance. Will there be man governors? Man presidents, women presidents? Will it be dual presidency? What will it be? And that's the reason why God told me why you all as a people, not just blacks, collectively can succeed. Because you all can filibuster back and forth. You can go back and forth for years. Back and forth for years. And not come up with any solutions, because it's just talking. It's just back and forth, chitter chatter. But who's willing to do the work? Who's willing to put in work? And when I told him that I would do it, I didn't know what I was signing up for. Because he told me, he said, what you're going to create, you probably won't even see the fruits of your labor. The next generation will, and you can only hope that they do well by what you're producing. Because I always thought to myself, I said, if I produce a better world, if not just if others like me produce a better world, and the next generation end up like a bunch of Sukianas and Drewskis, I'm going to be heavily irritated and angry, and probably haunt them for life. If I see a bunch of, what's her name? If I see a bunch of Sexy Reds and Drakes, and basically what they push, the ignorance that they push, if I see that, if those are the ones that I'm doing the work for, and you all, it sounds a bit bad, but if those after me don't do right by what I'm doing now, let it all burn down, because none of us are worth it. This is our last chance to change for the better. For the animals, for the children, for the women, for the men, for the elders. I many times questioned why God placed me in Atlanta. And now, 4.5 years down the road, I get it now. He needed me to be so irritated with my reality that I was forced to change myself and my ideology and how I perceive the world. If this is all we are, is a bunch of amigos, mama, you know what I'm saying? If this is what we are, just a bunch of ignorant bumpkins, is this even worth living? And not just us, the white people are ignorant too. The whole world is ignorant. It's just that we're the forefront of the ignorance. Kim Kardashian, Kylie, if this is what our future is, a bunch of hoes talking about, I'm a billionaire, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're 21 as a billionaire and you got money from nepotism. This is stupid, but many people don't agree with my ideology, my way of thinking. But it's why we're stagnant. It's why we're stuck in the past. It's like a purgatory. We're not forward, we're not behind. We're just here. And it's because no one wants to expose what doesn't suit us for the future, what doesn't allow us to progress. Many of us on this planet like where we're at. That's the sad part. And that's why we're not going forward. We either going to have to fight for a future or just be content with what we have, which is not cool at all. I've gotten to the point where even if I just think like I think, that's it. That's good enough for me. Even if I have to be the only one to think like me, that's good enough. Because this world is trash. God should not be ashamed. We should be ashamed. And Satan. Because Satan is trash too. The fact that he thinks this is power is sad. It shows that he never knew what power was. He will never be God. Anyways, it stopped raining. Let me get ready to go home. Talk to y'all soon. Hope y'all enjoying your day. Focus on good energy. Focus on cultivating a community that thinks like you, that needs to be. If you can't do nothing else, do that. Focus on those that think like you, behave like you, want to grow like you, and build a better future, even in a microcosm, even in the smallest version of reality, because it will eventually grow. You don't have to do everything. Just do a little bit. And be grateful for the little bit that you do and work on that and feed on that and pass it on. Like the good word, pass it on, If you can have Jehovah's Witness talk about, oh, Jeebus, Lord, white Jesus, then you can do the same thing with the new ideology. Pass it on. Talk to y'all soon.